Hi everyone, it's the beginning of month and just want to show you one exercise I do at every beginning of month, which is investing money into my Reits portfolio, one of my 6 wealth accumulation system. Now this is what I do here. I'll put all the Reits through this process to sieve out Reits that pass my test, and among the Reits that pass my test, I will invest in either 1 or 2 Reits, and every month I will invest the same amount. Okay, so what I'm trying to do here, you can call it regular investing, dollar cost averaging, and over time I would have a portfolio of Reits giving me regular dividends, helping me to snowball my wealth. Let's go through the process. Step 1, current yield above fair yield. So where do I get the current yield? So let me go to Google. So this is the web page I go to, www.reitdata.com, REITDATA. What you have here is the list of dividend for that particular day for that different REITs. Now, I actually compare this current yield with my fair yield. Where's my fair yield? Let's go to the page. Okay, now here is my fair yield. And in this fair yield, this is what I do. How I derive this number, this is basically the average dividend yield for all the REITs in that particular sector over the past 3 years. So what I do here is this, I compare the current versus the fair. Obviously, the yield higher the better. And when the current yield is higher than the fair yield, to me, is the REIT is undervalued. And of course, it will pass my test. It allows me to continue doing my selection test for this particular REITs. Now let's look at step 2. What is step 2? So step 2, to check whether is the rental, is it growing or whether is it sustainable. How do I actually find answer to this question? I have to look at the properties. So once again, I have to go back to our dear friend Google. Where is it? Let's see. Okay, I have to go back to Google. And I go to the Reits website. So all you have to do is to key in the Reits name. So let's say, for example, CDL Hospitality Trust. Every Reits has its website, so no excuse. You can find all the information there. So in the website, I look for 2 main things. One is look at the properties. So very important, buying REITs, you're buying properties. So please take a look at what are the properties you're buying. So like for example, they have properties in various countries. These are all the properties in Singapore. So take a look. And the main question to ask yourself is this: do you think that 5 years later, 10 years later, these properties will continue there, continue to rent out? And of course, if you think that these are the properties that have growth potential, hey, that's even better. This is one. The second thing I look at is their presentation slides. So all REITs, they have to do quarterly presentations. They usually have this investor tab. Click on that, presentations, and obviously go for the most recent one. So this is a very good document with all the latest information. It's definitely a must read before you buy any single REITs. Okay, so it's a long list, tells you everything, portfolio summary, the performance, so on and so forth. So do read it before you buy your next REIT. Okay, now, so this is the second step. The third step is to do the loan test. So basically my loan test comprise of 2 ratios. So again, let me just go back. And these 2 ratios can be found in the presentation slides. So under financial position, you can see this list of ratios. The 2 ratios I'm referring to is gearing ratio and interest coverage ratio. To pass my gearing ratio test, this number have to be less than 40%. Obviously, we should look at the most recent quarter. So in this case, this 2 will pass because I want it to be less than 40%. And the other ratio to look at is interest cover ratio. To pass the test, this ratio have to be greater than 3 times. Again, this will pass. Okay, so after completing all the 3 tests, I would have sieve up. So total we about 41 REITs, and usually after this process I would have about maybe 10 REITs the most. And all these 10 REITs will be inside my watch list. And among this watch list, I'll pick up either 1 or 2 REITs for me to add to my portfolio every month. So the amount I put in is the same. So every month I put in the same amount. So I can say that I'm actually doing dollar cost averaging or either that regular investing. So there's a rule I do follow quite closely, which is diversification. So let's say if I were to buy REIT A today, so very likely I will only buy REIT A again after I have bought at least 5 other different REITs. So in this case, I would have a varied portfolio of REITs after a certain period of time. And obviously, as time goes by, all my REITs get more and more, and my dividends, they will start coming, get more and more. And you can see that this is how I use the REITs portfolio to snowball my wealth for me.